Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Game Plan NECC webinar. My name is Kai Browning with Game Plan, and joining me today is my colleague and friend, Alex. Alex, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, thank you for the introduction, Kai. My name is Alexander Early. I'm the sales manager for the Game Plan platform.
Awesome. Well, today we have a really fun run of show. We've got a few slides we'd like to show you, as well as a brief demo. Um, to kick us off, let's go ahead and jump into those slides if we could, and we'll just talk about the what Game Plan is and how it relates to the NECC partnership. So, Alex, please take it away.
Sure, absolutely. So, Game Plan is an esports management system. Essentially, what it allows you to do is run a program, everything that you need, all from one spot. What it also brings to the table is the ability to coach and manage a program with really no prior experience. And so, we thought that this partnership would largely benefit new programs at the collegiate level, specifically helping with some things such as program turnover, sustainability issues that halt long term success. But what it can also do is really sort of strengthen the community around which each program functions. So the platform is for the casual and competitive gamer. And what we mean by that is we have training programs, which you'll see during the demo, that allow to really kind of strengthen your skills and deep dive into high end mechanics across the most popular titles. But what we also have with this platform is the ability to strengthen your community. You can interact with different local high schools and programs. You can run summer camps. Um, you can use it to recruit for your competitive teams, run boot camps and skill workshops, prepare for high level competition, and much more. And so, what we're hoping you'll see is that this really is the tool for everything that you need esports related.
Awesome. Thanks, Alex. Um, what Game Plan really does, on top of all of that, as well as if we can go to that next slide, it really helps with program turnover. I have been in your shoes before. I know what it feels like to start a program, whether from scratch or you've received it from a different colleague or a different student. I myself also years ago created my collegiate esports program, and I know the pains and troubles it is. One of the hardest things for me to do was to let go and pass it on, hoping that it would all function the same way. And Game Plan really helps serve that purpose and helps with legacy of programs, to be able to have everything kind of one place from a schedules perspective, as well as a way to aggregate both the competitive and casual side of an esports club. You can have all of your competitive teams in there. You can have all of your casual, BYOC events or get-togethers and things like that, and it just allows you to kind of manage everything from kind of one standpoint. So that's just one less thing that will change when you choose to move on to whatever that is. And so I wish I had Game Plan when I was at university and when I was kind of handing in this off. But now it exists for you guys, and we hope that you might find value here in this. So let's talk a little bit real quickly about the functionality of Game Plan. Like we've mentioned before, it's extremely adaptable, extremely flexible. This is a little snapshot of our content calendar of where you can schedule different training programs, different matches, different meetups, things like that. It is a place to organize your competitive teams, an ability to do VOD reviews as well. And then we have a full library with some of the top esport titles, with training programs and drills and chapters to improve your mechanics and your gameplay, even if you are just a casual player and kind of just coming for the game nights. And then it also has the ability to, again, kind of be a clearinghouse to host events, to boot camps. It also provides additional revenue streams for colleges that are looking to gain money throughout the year. Again, I've been in your shoes. I know how it is and how it is hard and difficult to find funds sometimes. So within Game Plan, you also have abilities to run summer camp programming. Again, to have your student players be coaches, and have kids come to campus and see your facilities and practice with your players. Again, wonderful other opportunities that we have that exist revenue wise through the Game Plan platform. Sweet. Now I'll throw it over to Alex, and he can kind of show us how it works through this slide as well as through a little brief demo.
Awesome. Thanks, Kai. Yeah, so we're going to cover some of the main features of the platform, starting with our sort of homepage, and then we're going to go into the calendar, Teams classrooms, the different content that we have, and the overall goal would be to show how easy it is once you see all the different content that we have to schedule and import events, create your own content. We will also cover things like managing and inviting members, how those roles work on the platform. And then lastly, we'll switch over to the student perspective so you can see what they see. And so, with that, I think we'll jump into the demo. Perfect. All right. So this is the game plan platform, and we're going to start by looking at it. So this is the administrator perspective. This is a team captain, head coach, instructor, teacher. Your role as an administrator essentially is to lay out the schedule and manage the content for everybody. And then when we switch over to the students at the end, you'll see kind of how all these steps that we're going to take transition into what managing the program would look like from the students' end. So to start on our dashboard, we have a couple onboarding steps here. We do a full in-person onboarding to help you get your program set up, but these steps are here just to help you get comfortable again with the platform. So just some basic steps such as browsing our content library and inviting students. On the main dashboard, you'll keep track of student activity so you can see what chapters and drills and assignments they're up to. If there's anything here that needs to be graded, such as like a video review or discussion board, that will pop up for you to grade here as well. And then you see the classrooms that you manage. But before we get into actual classroom and team management, I like to start in the content library. So the content library is where we have our training programs for Rocket League, Fortnite, League of Legends, Valorant, and Counter Strike. And training programs are essentially a cluster of chapters, drills, exams, resources, and videos. The idea being that whether you're learning about a specific game mechanic or something in the industry, training programs will lay out step by step exactly what you should go through to better comprehend that material. And so, if we were to start with Rocket League, for an example, in Rocket League, we have training programs that cover all of the mechanics of the game, right? So we have an aerial master program, bumps and demos courses, ceiling shots, ranking up in Rocket League, improvement, basic level mechanics. But the way that these work is they're for everybody, right? This is where we talk about, again, that casual or competitive gamer, right? So if you have, maybe you're engaging with a local high school, kids that have never really played, but they see, the pro team that you guys have, and they want to start getting into this game, you can start them with beginner level training programs. It can work up to intermediate and advanced, and the advanced mechanics made by grand champions in Rocket League, right? So however you are running the program, whatever sort of goals you have, these training programs, they can sort of create an opportunity for everybody to get involved. If we look at what a training program actually looks like, when we open this up, the first thing it's going to do is it's going to tell you what the overall goals are. So again, this is just a beginner level program. It's going to walk you through actually setting up the settings for Rocket League, and then it's going to start to introduce some basic level mechanics. And it does give you a little background on who created the content. So all of our training programs have either been created by the game plan team or sourced from very high quality content creators. So this training program actually came from a creator named Seabell. He's played Rocket League at the grand champion level for almost 4,000 hours. So very high quality content creator. And the chapter itself, or the training program itself, you'll see here, it lays out over the course of a week what this actually looks like. If we were to go into one of the pieces, chapters usually start with a video, right? And they'll give you some text on what it is, why it's important. So you progress through, you're watching the videos, you're reading, learning about the different mechanics of the game. As you get towards the end of a chapter, there's some sort of evaluation tool. Again, this could be weighted or not. It's totally up to you. It's usually there to reinforce whatever the goal of the chapter was. And then when you transition to an actual drill, there's a couple ways that these work. So this is the beginner level aerial drill. It's already part of the Rocket League game. So there's really no steps required other than to just open up Rocket League, go into the training section, start playing the drill. We give you a video on how to do that, as well as some common mistakes and a way to, measure training, right? So grand champions should probably hit this drill 10 out of 10 times, no problem. And it kind of scales down from there. We give you the steps on how to do that, and then you would get started. Now, if it's a drill that we've created that's not part of the game, here the students will see a copy and paste code, right? So they open up the custom match in Rocket League, they grab our code, and they throw it into Rocket League, and now they're following the same steps and performing the drill that we've created. If we were to go back to the content library just to cover the other titles that we have, so we have content for Fortnite. all sorts of different training programs with the mechanics, early, mid, and late game. This was created by Rice Hub. We have League of Legends content as well. So this will take you through beginner and intermediate courses as well as specific training programs for different lanes, right? So if you have a team, having this sort of content where people can really sort of deep dive and focus on their role specifically, very good practice and ways to improve. We go over to Valorant. We have some Valorant fundamentals as well. So communications and callouts, pre-round basics, attacking and defending, and we get into our Counter Strike content as well. What we also have on the platform, there's a couple other categories here. So we have an AimLab integration. So if you have AimLab accounts, students are able to connect their account to the platform and do the AimLab drills. We also have a performance training category, and I can show once we get into actual management and the teams and classrooms how you would use this sort of content. But the performance training category has all sorts of other titles, and this could be really good again if you're going to do some sort of camp or interaction with a younger age group. You can introduce them to things like leadership, learning from experience, planning a tournament, psychology, nutrition. If you were to transition out of performance training, we've also put together a streaming course with Twitch. So this will take you through hardware, software 101, cybersecurity, up into community management, opening a club at your school, right? So this is a way again to reach those kids that maybe they're not necessarily interested in playing, but they'd like to be a part of the team, a part of the club. This is a way for them to get involved with that as well. If we transition over now into how you actually use these content pieces, we have our classrooms and our teams. So to create a classroom, you just click create a classroom. You can name it, you add thumbnails, different images, you pick which days of the week this meets, and then you create it. When you get into what the classroom actually looks like, it gives you a blank calendar. What you can do here is edit the content. And then let's say, there's specific chapters that you really like from a training program, but you don't want to use the whole thing. You can drag and drop those individual chapters into the schedule. You can do drills before a match. Maybe we have tournaments on Friday nights. You can schedule those in as well. You can add the instructions on how they join. So it's a really good way to plan out, bulk content for people. And that's again where kind of the classroom feature differs for the teams is, if you have all of those kids that you want to introduce that streaming content into, you'd group them in a classroom. The teams you would schedule based off of what game they were actually playing. That way you wouldn't have Rocket League kids doing League of Legends content. What you can also do here is import entire events, and this is where the scheduling tool just becomes an absolute breeze. So maybe we're going to do that beginner level Rocket League program that I showed. If we open this up, we pick which days of the week it meets: Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We choose our start date. I'll just do this past Monday, the 21st, and we schedule it. And now you can see it just lays this whole training program out for you. Now, you do not have to follow the schedule as it lays out. If you want to cram everything into one day, maybe you're doing some long practices that run for an entire day or camps, you can just click and drag all sorts of different pieces. However you want to do it, the scheduling feature is totally up to you. You can add empty weeks as well. If something comes up, spring break, you can click this, bump everything down a week. But so the scheduling feature is meant to be just an absolute breeze. And again, this is something that a team captain can do, coaching. Anybody can do the scheduling feature who's on the administrator profile. So it's a really good way to also offer leadership opportunities to members of a team. They can kind of host and run their own practices and really work together as a team. If we switch over into what the teams page looks like, it's the exact same thing. The only difference, again, being that this would be for a smaller group of students focused on a specific title. But what we also have here is a game review tool. This tool will essentially let you go through and deep dive and analyze any sort of video file. So you could put in high level gameplay from maybe an upcoming opponent in here. You could record your teammates doing drills, put the drills in here, go over them, record a match that you just played and dive in. But if we were to edit this review, this is going to lag a little bit, but if we go into the video itself and actually play it, let's say we just pause the video at this point in time. Obviously, this is Fortnite, probably not the best example here, but maybe, if there was a guy up here, this guy's in the wrong spot. You can draw all over the screen. He should have been back here. You can add your different feedback and save it. And what it does is it creates a timestamp, right? So your head coach could go through videos and leave different comments like, what did we do right here? What went wrong here? Players could analyze their drills and see what mechanics that they're really struggling on. So again, this is a fantastic tool to really analyze all sorts of footage as it relates to what you guys are doing. If we transition out of the teams and classrooms now to manage and add users on the platform, it's quite simple. You can assign the roles. So you have your administrator and your teacher. You can invite different staff members. And for this, you can either create a shareable link or invite them manually if they're already on the platform. It's very easy to get people in here. And the students as well, you see who are the active members of the program. And let's say you're going to run a summer camp, right? So you have all these kids in one area. They're there for a week, 2 weeks, however long you do it, and then they're done. You can remove them from the organization. You can pause their activity if they're going to come back in the future. So it's very easy to manage users on the platform. If we transition now over into what the students see, you'll see their view is much more condensed, right? So they have access to the same dashboard, right? And they see their plan for the day. So this is some content that I scheduled. This is that beginner level Rocket League program. So you can see today I've got these 2 chapters in a drill to complete. I haven't started them yet, so my progress bar is at 0. We have those that AimLab integration and a Discord integration as well. This is just a login method. And then as they get to the bottom, they see their calendar for the week with all of the pieces laid out in front of them. Where this really hits off with the community aspect, though, is in the training program section here. So maybe you just kind of want to run like open club nights. No real structure, but kids want to come in and they want to work on their mechanics. They just want to game with their friends. All of the training programs can be accessed here, right? You can filter all of this content on and off. It's totally up to you. But if you just want to have open nights where kids come in and practice, they can come through and sit down and just do the training programs. Maybe they'll sit with a person who's really good at flip resets in Rocket League, and they've never really played before. They can do the training programs together. Maybe they really want to play Rocket League and they're a Valorant guy. They can start with the beginner level programs, right? So the training programs, they really open up a lot of opportunities for everyone to get involved. They also have access to that game review tool. So this is where they would kind of create that library of footage by dragging and dropping their files. They'll see what types of classrooms that they're involved in. They see the teams that they're on. And then we do offer some resources here as well for them, such as troubleshooting some things with Rocket League and some streaming setups. And then they also have access to the Help Center as well. And so essentially that is the way that the game plan platform functions. Kai, do you think I miss anything? Is there something else that we should highlight?
I think you covered it all, Alex. Again, it's a very robust, very flexible platform, and I know we can't cover it all here in this short webinar that we're doing today. But it is a sandbox. We invite you to, schedule some time with us, book a demo, and we can really show you more kind of in depth the full features of the platform here. But I think you did a great job. Thank you.
Awesome. Perfect.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for the time here. We will take a few questions now. I think we do have a few questions in chat. Um, the first one says, does everyone see all of the content? I have a class that only plays Rocket League. Yes, so you can filter by classroom. And there's a few ways to toggle visibility that we didn't cover today. But yes, you can assign only Rocket League content to a classroom. You can turn off all of your content. You can have all of your content available and accessible to everybody as well. So it's completely flexible in the way that people can view and interact with things. Is there a way to export the training calendar to something like a Google Calendar or iCalendar? Not as of right now, but that's definitely something that we can discuss with our developers and have an option for that to happen here very soon. Unless, Alex, you know of any other answer there.
No, yep. That has been something that has been brought up recently, and I know that that's definitely on their radar. So we'll definitely talk to them. Where do I schedule a demo? So you can book a demo with me anytime. If you go to gameplan.com and fill out our form, it will connect you to my Calendly, and then we can schedule anytime. You can also email me. It's just alex@gameplan.com. We can schedule a demo as well. How much does it
Awesome.
cost? Great question. So typically, a license is $3,000 a year, and the way that that works is it's one license per school or program, and that covers an unlimited amount of users, and it's just a yearly subscription.
Awesome. That's great. Are
Okay.
there any other questions? I'll ask one more time in chat. Is there any more questions that anybody has about the platform, about what we discussed today? Awesome. Yes. And if you have any questions at all, you can contact myself or Alex. Alex at gameplan.com or Kai at gameplan.com, KYE at gameplan.com. And I think we're getting those typed onto the screen to show up there.
Perfect.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, NECC, thank you so much for having us today. For those that participated, thank you for so much for joining us and taking some time out of your afternoon or early afternoon. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us via social. Come to our website, send us an email, messenger pigeon if you wish as well. We'd be happy to discuss any and all questions that you have surrounding game plan and how we can get it utilized with your program. This is us signing off. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks again, guys. Really appreciate the time.